All right. Hello, guys. Welcome to Tabletop CP After Dark. So, as you can see, we're not playing a game this week, but we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be playing, or not playing, we're going to be doing a little bit of a painting chat. I'm going to paint. You guys can bring some paint stuff, hopefully. And we're going to talk gaming. I'll answer any questions you guys might have. And I'm also going to look at the contents of this box, 0200 hours that we just got a review copy of. We're just going to take a quick look through it. I'm going to do an actual look through a video later, but as part of the live stream tonight, we'll take a quick look through it. So that should be interesting. And yeah, so we'll just wait a few minutes, see if anyone else shows up. I'll show you what I'm going to be painting tonight, or working on. See if I can change this. Okay, so tonight I've been working on an Italian project. For a long time. It's taken me a long time. I think I maybe lost a little bit of interest in it, but I got through almost most of the infantry already, and then Padilla sent me a whole bunch of tanks and stuff. So I'm going to be working on some of those tonight. And the first one is going to be this. What is this? He wrote it on the bottom here. Semavente 7518. So these are 3D printed. So I'm going to be working on that. And then I'm going to also paint up this truck this weekend, as having transports is very important in bolt action. Maybe not so much in chain of command, but definitely in bolt action. So that's the plan for the live stream tonight. So let's see, we got Rick here, Rick Copen. How you doing, Rick? Hopefully you brought something to paint. Or if you guys have any questions as well, let me know. This is also supposed to be a Q&A, but I didn't really get any Q's. So if anyone has any questions about what we do or how we do it, now is the time to ask. Eagle Sham just got here. Thanks for coming by, Doug. All right, so I guess the first thing I'll do is we'll look through this 0200 hours box first, real quick. It's not going to be a full-on unboxing video, but we'll just look through it. It looks like an interesting game. I listened to Brad's podcast with the author, and that was very interesting. It sounds like a really cool game. Stealth in games is something that is hard to do right, so we'll see how it works out in this game. Usually in any game, mostly video games I played, stealth always turns into shooting quite quickly for me, but it'll be fun to try it out. So let's just pull this open and take a quick look at it. I know there's some really cool minis in here. I don't know if you can see that. The lighting's probably not super good, but it's a bunch of Germans and some SAS guys, and the ones that kind of stand out the most are these Germans with the dogs. So guard dog Germans. A lot of them are going to be in sentry poses, smoking cigarettes. Some of them have flashlights, stuff like that. So that'll be kind of cool. And we got all the sprues here, cases, of course. So I've watched some of the other unboxings already, so I kind of know what's in here. I think there's 2 SAS sprues, which are these. And these are the War Games Atlantic minis. I've never used these before or seen them. So this is the first time seeing any War Games Atlantic stuff. They look a little bit smaller than Warlord. Of course, the Warlord plastic guys are huge. So these look a little bit smaller than those. And we got a bunch of Germans. Somewhere in the long coats. All standing up. There's no crouching, guys. And the dogs, couple dogs. So pretty cool. It'll be fun to put those together. I thought I was probably done forever painting German camo, but I guess not. We got the rule book, which you can also get for free as a PDF as well, from the Gray for Now Games website. You can get a free PDF of these rules if you want to try it. You can just use stuff that you already have. You don't have to use the stuff that comes with the box. So you can play this game for free if you really wanted to. But you would be missing some stuff like this. A bunch of different counters. Looks like smoke marker, probably alert, actions, demo charges, lights, time. It's kind of neat. And the last thing in here is the tray. Looks like there's a bunch of cards in here. I'll save opening these for the real unboxing I do later. Alarm level calm, and then there's some special dice in here. Looks like 4 each, gray and white. There's an eyeball, some chevrons, different stuff like that. So should be interesting. Covert World War II game. We play Spectre Operations a lot, so I'm kind of curious on how that would match up, or how that would be similar to this or not. Of course, we don't do a lot of covert stuff in Spectre Ops either, but I think the next game we do, we're going to try something different. So yeah, that's it. That's the box. Just like I said, just a really quick look through of it. So let's see here. Dan has a question. How do you schedule the games you do? Do your friends just know when your game and show up, or do you specifically schedule certain games with certain people? Well, Andre knows to show up every week at 7 o'clock on Friday. We play a game. So if we're playing a game, maybe like Spectre or something, and we'll have Robert or maybe Steve will come over for some bolt action. I'll have to talk to them about it, but Andre kind of just knows to show up. He was not around this week, but it's always 7 o'clock Friday, and the game's just kind of whatever I think we haven't played for a while is what we play. If we're playing a campaign, we used to play a campaign straight through, but we don't really do that anymore. We'll just kind of look back and see when we haven't played Spectre in a while. We haven't played bolt action in a while, or whatever it is. That's kind of what we'll play. So we don't have a schedule of games. It's just whatever we haven't played or whatever we happen to feel like playing that particular night. So that's pretty much how we schedule everything. It's not really anything to it. Okay, so well, I will go ahead and get started painting. I don't know if any of you guys are doing any painting. What are y'all working on now? Anything? I know Lou is an Italian fan. He said the Italians are getting ready. They are. I have enough actually to play a bolt action game right now, which I think next week we'll probably do, is I'll have enough infantry. I got enough support weapons. I got a machine gun. I have a mortar, cannon. I'll have this Saravente tank ready to go by next week. So yeah, we'll definitely get the Italians out for next week's game, bolt action for the first time. So Doug's working on Napoleonics, 10 millimeter. Okay, that's cool. And then Justin is working on USMC for bolt action. Chris Valentine says foreground west buildings. Those are good. Actually, the ones I have are Sarissa. So they're not as detailed as the foreground ones, but they're still pretty good. They're a lot cheaper for sure, but they are pretty bare bones compared to the foreground stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on these. I don't have my sun lamp down here, so the lighting is not going to be super great, but we'll make do. So I'll do some painting, and then if you guys have any questions or want to make any comments, just put them in there, and I'll check back every now and then. Normally, I would have a second person on here just so I could chat voice with them and then look at it. So it's just doing it by myself is a little different, as it's harder to paint and talk at the same time as I have to look at the comments. So next time we do this, I'll get a couple of my patrons on, 2 or 3 of them, or 1 or 2 of them, and then they can talk with me and I'll talk with them, and then we'll also do comments. So it's a lot more interactive that way. When it's just myself, it gets a little boring, I think, just because I'm trying to talk the whole time. But if you guys can put some comments up that I can reply to, that would make it probably a lot more interesting for anyone watching. So let's see here. Yeah, Eagle Sham says, got some Sarissa 15 mil for my World War II. Yes, World War 15 mil terrain is something I really need. I have Battle Group. I've been wanting to start that. I've been getting a lot of people asking for it. And I have the armies, tons of Germans, tons of Americans, but my terrain, it's the 15 mil terrain is very lacking for me. I have a tiny bit, but not enough to really make it interesting. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start painting these. Let's do the tracks first. So these 3D prints that Greg sent, they're pretty nice. Greg sent me a ton of them. Sorry, everything's backwards here. I have probably 10 different vehicles that Greg sent. And I really just did them really fast. I spray painted them black, and then I got this Army Painter Desert Yellow, and I kind of went over them and did a poor man's pre-shading. You can see I kind of underdid it here on the back. It's almost black, but kind of adds a little bit of shadow to it. And I don't really feel like going through and pin washing every single rivet on all these tanks. I just want to get this army knocked out and done. So it's called the poor man's pre-shade. And that's what I use for that. And I'm going to use that for all the vehicles. So I should be able to get them all knocked out pretty quick once I really actually start painting them. So let's see here. We got DeRosa's here. Australians for bolt action. Okay, cool. I have Australians, desert Australians, but they're Perry. My journey to finding your channel, says Salem Poor. Casual miniature curiosity. Play on tabletop Warhammer 40K videos. Wondering if historical gaming is a thing. Then bingo, landed on your channel. Yes, it's kind of my story too, Salem. I had like most everybody. I started with 40K, and as a kid, as a teenager, I was obsessed with World War II history, and never even considered there might be a miniatures game using World War II stuff. And then I found bolt action one day and said, oh, this looks pretty cool. And I tried it, and then that just opened up a whole door for me for historical gaming in general. And I've never really looked back. I mean, we do some fantasy with Erewhon, and we've played Grimdark Feature before. That's a sort of a 40K rip-off type game. So it's a lot of fun. It uses all the 40K models. It's just super simplified and streamlined. It's a lot easier to play, a lot faster pace. So those are the only kind of non-historical things that we do. So Tom Cygnus says, what do you think of 5-minute curse rules? I have not played that. We have played it on the channel, though. We had a guy was kind of helping out with the channel briefly, and he did a video on it. I believe there's a video about 5-minute curse on this channel somewhere that he did. And I can't remember if it was just a walkthrough or what exactly it was, but there is something about it on here. Eagle Sham says Flames of War version 1, and then version 2 was my, of course. I'm sorry. Flames of War was before bolt action. Thanks for reminding me, Doug. We did play Flames of War for a long time in 3rd edition before we got into bolt action. That was actually what we played after we quit playing 40K because it just got ridiculously complex and we just could not keep up with it. So we found Flames of War first, and we played that for a long time. And then that even got to the point where it was too complex for us, the 3rd edition. So we're like, okay, well, there's got to be something else. And that's when I found bolt action. And I actually knew about bolt action for a little while before I tried it. And I think it was the dice mechanic, which is pretty much the biggest selling point of the game now, was the thing that I just did not even understand or want to even try out, because it just sounded weird to me. So it kept me from playing. Sort of like Chain of Command, the random moving distances kind of kept me from playing that for probably a whole year until I played it. So I guess the moral of the story is don't let some mechanic that you read about in a game stop you from trying it, because it could turn out to be a great game, like both Chain of Command and bolt action turned out to be for us. See, version 3 was okay. Never tried version 2 of Flames of War. Version 3 was the only one I tried. I did try. We have played a couple of version 4 games on the channel with Johnny. And Mark asks, "Is the stuff you're working on 148?" Yeah. I've had Padilla paint. He asked me what I wanted, 148 or 156, and I had switched over to 156 for everything. All my late war stuff for sure recently, my winter stuff. But I knew that these Italians had a lot of tiny little tankettes, and those things just look ridiculous in 156. I think they're tiny. They're so small you can't even. I mean, they just look silly to me. So I knew I was going to be getting some of those, and I just wanted a little bit bigger Italian vehicles. Plus, my desert stuff for my Australians is all 148. So it was a kind of an easy choice to go with 148 for these guys for me. See, Michael Westfall says, "Love Spectre as a game. Figures are good as well." Yeah, Spectre's a very fun game. It's a sandbox. It's the most sandbox type game that we play that I know of, where you can literally just dream anything up that you want, and you can make a game out of it. And I think our next game, Robert was going to do. He was going to write the next mission, and he was going to do something a little bit more. He's going to try to do more of a covert thing where we're sneaking around trying to do stuff instead of just pretty much every game we play now has become a rescue mission because someone always gets captured in the previous game, and the next thing you know, we have to go rescue them. So it's just a never-ending series of rescue missions at this point, which is fun, but it'd be nice to do something a little bit different. So that's next Spectre game. I think we're going to be doing some kind of covert sneaking around, maybe even disguises and stuff like that as well. Let's see here. Mark said 148 looks better. Yeah, I agree. I've done a video on the 148, 156 comparison, and I think it looks better for certain things. I think smaller stuff, especially Jeeps, small tanks, trucks, stuff like that. I think up to about a Sherman level, it scales better with the 156 infantry. But then if you start getting into Tigers and big tanks like Pershings and stuff, suddenly those things are just enormous and they look way too big on the table. But I mean, it's just personal preference, really. There's no right or wrong answer. Of course, Warlord will tell you 156 is the way to go because that's what they sell. But some of the stuff just looks silly, like those little tankettes or Jeeps look incredibly small next to the guys. Even the trucks, I mean, they're supposed to hold 12 guys. They look like they maybe can hold 3 or 4 guys. So yeah, it's just, to me, I think the smaller stuff looks good and better in 148, and the bigger stuff looks better in 156. And that's, by better, I mean scale compared to the infantry, not better detail or whatever. But even then, most of that 148 stuff's all scale models anyway, so the details is going to be a lot better. But of course, they're not made for gaming, so they have a lot of fiddly bits that are just going to break off. So let me see here. So Michael Go Mine says, "Good evening. What's happening?" Oh, just doing a little painting of these Italian vehicles that Greg sent us. Ran a fight using Star Trek figures. Okay. What game was that? Spectre? I guess you could do Spectre with Star Trek. Be kind of interesting. Oh, and speak of the devil, Padilla's here. So yeah, Greg, I'm painting up some of these, some of the tanks you sent. I've been just sandbagging it really lately. It's been, I don't know. I just kind of lost interest in painting for a while. I used to paint every night, and then recently it's just been like, man, I just don't feel like it. And Normally I would force myself to do it, but I haven't been doing that lately. But I'm going to start now. I don't know if you were here, Greg, but earlier, but we said, or I was saying that we're going to be using these Italians in a game of bolt action next week. I have enough stuff now. I got plenty of infantry, plenty of support. I'm going to finish this tank, this truck, and we're going to have Italians versus Australians coming up next week for bolt action. So that should be pretty exciting, the first time for that. Let's see here, kind of like Splinter Cell type of game. Yeah, I guess. No, I don't think that. I think he's talking more covert, like person wearing a disguise trying to sneak through town. So Salem Porter says, I'm typically a digital gamer, but I yearn for something more face-to-face. I live in the country in East Texas, and there's not a large nerd community, so I'm looking the gateway drug for my friends. Yeah, show them the channel. I mean, if you guys are into historical stuff, all history nerds would love to play miniature games. I don't think any of them would not like it. I think it's just a matter of them not knowing about it. But if you showed some history nerd a bunch of minis on a table with nice terrain and knew the rules and can walk them through it, I don't think that any of them would be able to resist it after that. Go Mine says, I will say I've seen an M46 Patton and they are massive. Yeah, I've heard that too. Some people say that those tanks really were that big, but maybe. I don't know. I've never seen one of those tanks before. I'm working on a fife and drum. David Stotzenberg says he's working on fife and drum 28 millimeter Mohawks for sharp practice. Okay, that's cool. That should be fun. We like using the Native American warriors in our sharp practice games. They're a lot of fun. Really good, but with that prominent leader thing, it can be a real bad thing for them. Couldn't you also use the Italians for the invasion of the Soviet Union? You could, but I'm painting mine up for the desert colors. The ones that went in the Soviet Union were wearing more of their green, the green camo. So Tom asked, would a 148 work for aircraft for bolt action? Very unnecessary, I guess, but I think they would look good for the airstrikes. For aircraft, I've never really used them, but I've asked that question before, and I've seen other people answer the same way, that they say 148 on if it's on the board, 148. If it's flying, like if you have some kind of flying stand and it's used for air support, then maybe 156, because it's a little bit smaller and it looks maybe like it's up in the air. I've heard that before. I've never tried it, but I know that I've seen people say that the two different scale aircraft work for two different reasons. You either put the bigger one on the board and the smaller one in the air, or the other way around. Don't quote me on that. Mark says, give the Italians defense scenario where they don't get to use their national benefits. Yeah. You know, it's funny because I just got the book for the Italians, and well, first I got the new desert book. I forgot what it's even called, but there's a ton of Italian rules in that book. There's so many. And then I was looking in the Italian book, and there's even more. So they have tons of rules. I don't know if I'm supposed to use all of them, or if I'm supposed to replace the national characteristics from the book with the stuff from the new desert book for them. Duel in the Sun. Is that the newest one? I can't remember what it's called. Western Desert, maybe? Something like that. I don't have the book handy, but I think Duel in the Sun's the older one. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. All I know is that there was a ton of different ones. They had like, some were good, some were bad. I think most of them were bad. There was a couple that made them better, but overall, I would say that the Italian special rules were a net negative for them. What rules would you recommend for Old West scrimmage? Well, we play Dead Man's Hand. We like that one. Pulp Alley is really good. It's not a dedicated Western game, but it works perfectly fine for Westerns or any setting really that you want to use it in. It's really fun. It's very innovative, I think, and it's fast paced, a lot of action, and there's a lot of weird random stuff that can happen in it. So I would definitely give those a try. I know Padilla's been getting on me about trying Ruthless, which is the Little Wars TV rule set that they made for Western gaming. It's supposed to be very simple and like 4 pages long or something. So I haven't tried it yet. I'm supposed to get with Padilla to try that out. So yeah, I'd say Dead Man's Hand and Pulp Alley are the ones I know of. There's also Gunfighter's Ball, which is the knuckle duster rules. I haven't tried those, but I hear they're pretty good as well. So that's what I would try out: Pulp Alley and Dead Man's Hand to start with. Let's see here. See, this is what I was. It's gonna be hard for me to paint, but that's okay. Let's see. So Salem asks, have you done a Normandy beach scenario? I've combed through all of your video, not combed through all your videos yet. No, we've never done Normandy landing. We've done some stuff in the Pacific, landings in the Pacific, and I think a landing in Warlords of Erewhon, of all things. We did a beach landing, but we've never done the actual Normandy landing. I don't have any of those Higgins boats. I think that's the thing that stopped us from doing it. I have some of those Marine Amtrak things, but I don't have any of the old classic Higgins boats to use for a Normandy scenario, so we've just never done it. I guess I got to get Padilla to print me off some. But yeah, it would be fun. We have all the stuff. We have plenty of Americans, British, Germans. I mean, it's just, we even have the Normandy mat, the Geek Villain one. It's just that we don't have the boats to make it look right. So Stotzenberg says Lardy's are working on What a Cowboy. Yeah, they are. I'm assuming it's just based kind of a modification of What a Tanker. Maybe where you roll some dice and like it'll let you move or shoot or whatever. So kind of like being in the tank, you can aim or do whatever it is that your command dice allow you to do. That's probably what it just is, a cowboy instead of a tank. So yeah, when that comes out, I'll definitely be trying that as well. So I have tons of Western stuff. No shortage of that. I went crazy with the Western stuff a couple of years ago, and I have so many of them that I don't even know what to do with them all. I even have some more. I got a gallows and some hangman and stuff like that as well. Just haven't painted those up yet. So Granite State Gamer says, really enjoy all your videos. I understand the painting burnout. I'm going cross-eyed, getting my black powder army filled out, and have some 6 mil ACW before finally jumping on my winter Germans. Yeah, that kind of a backlog could definitely sap the energy out of you. Black powder by itself is just the amount of figures you need for even a small game of that it's insane. Johnny and I have been wanting to play a black powder game on the channel. We played lots of sharp practice. He's got tons of French. He's got tons of Prussians now. And I think we've decided that we have enough now to play a small black powder game, which we're going to do here eventually once we learn how to play it. It's going to be between my French and his French. We have enough stuff. And then between my British and his Prussians, we would have enough to do a small black powder game on the channel. So we will be doing that. But I mean, we have to combine everything we have just to get a small game of black powder. And so I understand about trying to get through black powder stuff. And then 6 mil ACW is something else. Another thing I really want to try. That's kind of probably the thing I want to do the most is play smaller / larger games. And when I say that, I mean smaller figures for larger games. So I mean, in sharp practice, you're commanding, I mean, not even a battalion. I mean, I don't even know what it would be in sharp practice. But bolt action, chain of command, those are platoon level games. Flames of War, company size. But I would really love to play a Civil War game where you're commanding divisions and stuff like that on just your 6x4 board would be amazing. And I was about to pull the trigger on that during the pandemic. I was going to order, because Johnny got all his stuff for it. And then I went to order mine from Bacchus. And I don't know if it was the pandemic or whatnot, but right at that moment, they had this weird, you can only buy 50 pounds worth of stuff at a time. And you couldn't double order. So it's like, well, I don't want to buy half now and a month later buy the next half. I mean, I should have, because I would have it now, but I just, at the time, that kind of it kind of turned me off to the idea. So I just never followed through with it. But it is something I definitely want to try out, because I think it would be a lot of fun. And I know that Little Wars has their game as well. I think that's what we were going to use. I forgot what it was called now, but those were the rules we were going to use. Oh man, Steve is here. Come on, boy. Yeah, Steve is the one who keeps riding me to try Battle Group. And as I mentioned, Steve, I do want to do it. I just don't have any terrain for it. So I need to order some 15 millimeter terrain so we could do it. Plus, it's just a new rule set. It looks a little bit complex, a little bit more crunchy than I'm kind of willing to dive into at the moment. So maybe I'm just using the terrain thing as an excuse not to do it. Maybe, I don't know. I have enough excuses to make it take forever to get to that game if I really want to. So Richard's here. Hello, Richard. I guess we're early enough for you. It's not bedtime yet. Good evening. I am rebasing and mounting 10 millimeter 1944 US and Germans for O Group. Okay, cool. Yeah, O Group, that's another game. Another one of those games. It was that one and Battle Group were kind of the two that I was trying to decide what I wanted to play. And I went with Battle Group just because I already have the 15 mil stuff. And I know for O Group, I think it's 6 mil, and I don't have any 6 mil World War II stuff. So it's a little bit easier decision to do Battle Group, even though I haven't done it. Which I will, Steve. I promise. I will get to it eventually. But I really wanted someone that knows how to play it, that can get with me on, remotely through the Discord server and walk me through it. I mean, I'll read the book and everything, but I would like to have somebody kind of there to help me learn the rules, because my brain is so full of rules right now that I don't know if I can remember another set. I used to have a three game rule, and that we would only play 3 games. That way I can keep them all straight, but that did not last very long. I mean, I think, trying to remember how many games do we play now. We play Bolt Action, Chain of Command, Sharp Practice, Dead Man's Hand, Spectre, Erewhon. It's like, and then Pulp Alley. I mean, that's like 7 games already that we play. And I do a decent job of remembering. Andre doesn't remember shit. I have to remember everything. He doesn't even remember what game we're playing in the middle of the game. So, yeah. But after a while, he'll remember, and then he'll start reminding me that I'm making mistakes. So let's see here. O Group can be played in 15 mil as well. Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was 6 mil only. Make Andre learn, and then yeah. Good luck with that. If I could make Andre learn rules, I would love to assign him Battle Group and say, here, learn this game, and then come and show me how to play it. Trust me, that would be amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen. Andre's got a sweet deal right now. He shows up. He doesn't have to paint anything. He doesn't have to remember anything. He just shows up and throws dice. So yeah, he's got it made as far as gaming goes. But I mean, he does, like I said, he does okay with the rules once we get kind of in the game and he starts remembering what we're playing. It'll start coming back to him. So yeah, Steve said I'll vote for battle group over a group just to get a change from TFL style rules. Yeah, I hear you. That's one of the reasons I don't have anything against Two Fat Lardies. I love their games, but yeah, it would be nice to try something totally different. Yeah. Eagle Sham, I think, was the one. I think he was saying that. Doug, weren't you the one that was? We were talking about maybe trying to get together and do some battle group on the over Discord. I think. I can't remember. But if you still want to do that and you know the rules, I mean, I'll read through them and I'll learn them as best I can. So I'm not just coming in totally ignorant of them. But yeah, to have someone kind of walk me through it on top of that would be great. Then I could really start playing it. But yeah, just the idea of, just looking through that book at some of the rules, and I go on their Facebook group and I see some of these questions that people are asking. I'm like, God damn, that's the kind of stuff you have to do in this game. It's like, I'll never remember that. So this is just a little, I guess, intimidated by the rules a little bit, just how complex they are. But that doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they're complex, and that doesn't mean they're hard to learn. They're better, maybe, I guess. Like you said, biggest issue with battle group is remembering tracking the ammo. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Tracking ammo. I don't know, man. To me, I guess it would be good because it would keep you from just taking impossible shots like in bolt action. If you're hitting on a 7 or whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you have so much ammo, you're not going to take that shot. You're going to wait until you have a better shot. But then again, how long are these games? I mean, most games only go 6 turns. What do you have? Like 4 or 5 rounds of ammo? I don't know. Yeah, it takes you from taking low chance shots with your 88s, right? Exactly. It's been a while. Mark said Rebels and Patriots are easy and fun. I've never played that. I've heard it's pretty fun, though. Battle group seems complex, but it's easy once you learn it. O group is a little bit more involved. Oh, man. I had not heard anyone say that that O group was more complex than battle group before. That's the first I've heard that. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. So let's see here. Yeah, so Steve again is the guy who's really been pressuring me to try battle group. Yet he won't agree to come on and show me how to play it. So there's always that. Steve, why don't you come on the channel? And not on the channel, I'm sorry, in the Discord server. Totally just me and you. I'll set the board up. I'll read the rules. You can walk me through it. And then I will try it on the channel. What do you say? You don't believe in Discord? Uh-huh. Well, isn't that convenient? Fine. Well, I'll find somebody like maybe Eagle Sham, or I'll go into the Facebook group and just see if anyone wants to be a sucker and spend a couple hours showing me how to play. I would love to get those 15 mil stuff back on the table, though. I spent a lot of time painting them up and everything. It's just, I would like to get them on there again. This truck. So this thing here, this truck, I don't know if you guys have any suggestion for painting glass windshields. I usually just paint them gray. but I'm thinking maybe some kind of gray fading into white or something else or something like that. Might be kind of cool. I know that Brad is over at Cast Ice does some pretty cool looking windshields. They're blue. He has like blue fading up to white, I think, from the bottom to the top. But I don't want to do blue. I'm thinking like a light gray at the bottom, and then just slowly adding in some white, not even pure white, more like a pellet witch flesh type color, which is one of my favorite colors, up at the top. Maybe a white, really thin white line at the top just to finish it off. But yeah, so light gray down at the bottom, and then adding in a little bits of white here and there on the way up. So let's try that. Most of the trucks I have right now are Tamiya kits, which have actual plastic as the glass. So I don't have a lot of practice painting glass or any very much, as most of the stuff is already just clear plastic to begin with. So I really have no idea how to do it. All the stuff I have painted glass, I just used gray, just the straight gray only. I didn't do any kind of fading or anything like that. And walkabout here. Blue for windshields, yeah. Mr. Gunner from Texas. First stream I've caught 3D printed some Star Wars figs and list building for Cold War Commander 2 currently. So how does the 3D printing Star Wars go? I mean, I don't know if Star Wars is like Games Workshop, but you think they would have some kind of copyright problem with people just printing their stuff out, 3D printing their stuff out. Maybe not, or maybe it's just different enough that it doesn't meet the copyright thing. I'm not sure. So Schwab says, as a change of pace, I've just finished rebasing my 30-year-old 6mm Ancients for strength and honor. 30-year-old Army. That's pretty cool. That's the beauty of these. That's the real beauty of these historical minis, is they're just always the same. There's a 30-year-old Ancients or a 30-year-old historical army is always going to be useful. You can't necessarily say the same thing for Games Workshop. I mean, their 30-year-old models look totally different than their current ones. I mean, you could use them, I guess, but I think it would look. You could definitely tell they weren't the same. I guess that the older models do look different. They're not as detailed, but they're still useful. That's why I like historicals, because a German with a rifle is always a German with a rifle. He's never going to be anything else. He'll just be a guy with a rifle. Try this for glass. Paint it silver and use some blue tinted silver in areas. Silver. I do have silver somewhere. Not here, but I do have some. I'll tell you what, I'll try both. I will I'll paint one window to be the gray with the white going up, and then I'll try that silver thing on the other side, and I'll see which one I like better. But yeah, silver would look, I think from a distance, it would definitely look more like glass. Up close, it might look a little weird saying, why is it silver? But on the table, it would probably look pretty damn cool. Wallace is here. I'm checking out and using the cards for strength. Chickening out and using this cards for strength and honor. What do you mean? Chickening out of what? Did I miss something that Wallace said earlier? Let me scroll up. Silvo says you can do gray and some blue wash over. Do a gray, then glossy varnish. and blue oils on the corners. Okay. I do have some blue washes for sure. I got some contrast paint too, but I don't think, I don't know how well that would work with this 3D printed stuff. It's got those lines in it, so it probably just looked kind of weird. Oh, he's okay. So Wallace is just straight up leaving. He's not even doing minis. He's only cards. I see how it is. That is chickening out. Maybe I should do that. All right, so let's see here. I want to do, I think about that much at the bottom. It's plain gray. Okay, that's why I need to just put a bunch of white in here. Hey Travis, where's Andre at? Well, Andre actually is here. He was going to go on a trip, and then I just decided I was going to do this for this week. And at the last minute, he said, "Well, my trip got canceled, but I had already scheduled this, and I didn't want to just not do it. So we might play a game this weekend. We are going to be doing a patron game Sunday, bolt action game, remote game with 2 patrons." And I will be putting that on the channel for this week's game. I want to put some kind of game out this week. But what I've been doing with those remote games is I have been just doing like a summary type video of it. It's not showing every single thing that happens. I mean, it is, but it's not in real time. It's just a summary of how it went, results, who moved where, who did what. It's kind of cool. It does take forever to do, but I think the end result, it comes out pretty good. And normally those are just only for patrons, but I think this week I'll put it out for everyone just because we're not doing a game. Maybe, I don't know. We might do one. I don't know yet. I've used blue to white with a blue-white glaze to blend them. Okay. Disney isn't Games Workshop, man. So Games Workshop is even more strict than Disney. I think Disney would be the most strict of all of them. Guess not. I don't know. It looks okay. I think I need more white. Need a smaller brush than I need. Damn it. Yeah, hell with it. It is not going to be perfect, but I will try the silver. I will try that silver thing on the other side, just out of curiosity. It gets the point across, I think. It's not super great, but it looks like glass. I mean, from a distance. Like if you saw that sitting on the table, you'd think, hey, there's a window there, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Let's see here. I don't. So Mr. Gunner says if it's self-policing at this point, nobody is doing exact copies of the exact poses of the Legion figures. But AMG and Disney haven't said anything official about it. I don't think their actual license and copyright is different. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. That people are able to do some 3D printing of the Disney stuff. That's good. Or the Star Wars stuff. So let's see here. Slivo says, are you working on African Italians? Yeah. Yes, I am. Probably about over halfway to do a the full like chain of command platoon right now. I think I have 11. I have to do 11 more riflemen and 3 more machine gun teams, and I can field that giant platoon from the chain of command platoon, which is like 2 machine gun teams, and then there's like a giant rifle team. Then there's like 3 or 4 junior leaders. I don't know. It's pretty wild. So that's the one I'm kind of aiming for. And then I found a few others that are more kind of modeled more after German, like Panzer Grenadier squads or platoons, where they have dual MG teams in a squad and just a junior leader in charge. I guess later in the war, as they started running out of men, they started kind of beefing up their firepower, just like the Germans did, adding more machine guns. So I'll be able to run pretty much any Italian platoon. That's the idea, is any kind of Italian platoon in the desert. I'll be able to field it in chain of command. And then obviously if I can do that, then you can build any kind of force you want in bolt action as well out of that. That's why if anyone ever asks, I always say you should build your armies for chain of command. If you're going to play both games, build for chain of command, because it's easier to get a bolt action force out of a chain of command army than the other way around. Because a bolt action force really it's not that strict at all. It's, you need your 2 squads and your officer, and that's it. Chain of command, on the other hand, it's very specific on what your platoon is, because it's based on the historical platoon. So you can't just go throwing whatever you want out there. You got to put out what's in the book or what's on the list. Yeah, okay. That should do it good for the window, I think, for now. I'll try the silver on the other side, decide which one I like, and then I'll paint the windshield. So there's that. Andrew, good evening, Andrew. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, if anyone who's here hasn't said anything or have any questions, kind of just, as I said earlier, it's just myself talking here, so I'm just answering questions, trying to do some painting. If we do this again, we'll do it like we did the last time we did this, and I'll have a couple people on with me. We'll use one of those streaming services so we can have multiple people on the screen. That way we can interact with each other and then interact with you guys as well. Just makes a little bit more dynamic show. Which platoon size game rules are the easiest to learn in your opinion? Easiest to learn is probably bolt action. I think of the World War II rules I know, bolt action would be the easiest. Chain of command is not super hard, but it's got more to it, a lot more nuance to chain of command. There's a lot more little rules in there, like grenades, and you got different types of movement, tactical, sprinting. Yeah, there's just a lot more to chain of command. A lot of people like that more. It's just they think it's more of a simulation of World War II than bolt action is. Bolt action is more like World War II movie. Just a bunch of guys running around blasting away. There's not really a whole lot of nuance to it. There are some things like ambush or whatnot that can make it a little bit more tactical. But rules-wise, it's pretty easy. You pull the dice and you do one of the things on the dice. Then you just have to learn what the weapons ranges are and what movement distances are for what and cover and stuff like that. But definitely bolt action. Dan's here. Hey Dan, thanks for coming by. Let's see. Nintense says, I finished painting my first 2 armies and board this week. Took around 6 months total. Hoping to get a game in this weekend too on it. Thanks for the videos getting me through the painting. Yes. Yeah, good job, man. Yeah, stuck with it. Good job. Now you're going to have those forever. I mean, you'll always be able to play World War II games, however many years from now with whatever rules come out. You got the World War II armies now. You don't ever have to build them again. Just don't sell them, because then you will have to build them again. So Andrew asks, have you guys ever played Black Seas. No, we haven't played any boat games on this channel. We never have. Is Black Seas, is that the one with the sailboats? I know there was one, the sailboat one looked kind of cool. I don't know if that's one of the boats have all the rigging. That's something I just never even wanted to try to deal with, was that rigging. Then there's another one that's a World War II boat game. I don't remember which one's which. I don't know. I just never have really been interested in naval stuff. I guess I would try it. If someone had it and wanted to try it, I would try it. But yeah, we've never done any Navy stuff. Sean says, greetings, Earthlings. Greetings, Sean. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I've been trying to get some cyberpunk tabletop games going, but the rule book is intimidating to most people I show it to. Cyberpunk, is that the name of a rule set? I haven't heard of that one. Cruel Seas is the World War II one. Okay. Well, then there's two different World War II ones. There's like, or maybe they're the same. I know there was a World War II one with like small boats, like torpedo boats, and then there was a World War II one with like battleships and shit, big boats. Is that the same game? I don't know. Do you consider playing Napoleonic Black Powder rules? I know you play Sharp Practice. Yes, we have considered that. I mentioned that earlier. You might not have been here, but Johnny and I think we have enough. We have enough French with both of our French forces combined, and we have enough good guys with my British and his Prussians that we could play a game of Black Powder. So that is coming. That is something we're going to do. We just need to learn how to play it. I've never played it. He's never played it. So we're going to have to figure that out. But yeah, we do have enough stuff to play a game of Black Powder. Duke says, just finished building, kit bashing my Italian cav platoon. Cool. Like actual cavalry or armored cavalry? I didn't know the Italians had cavalry. Wallace says, I like oak and iron for boats. Yeah. That's the sailboat game, though, with all the rigging. So if I could play without the rigging, if I could get the boats and not have to do the rigging, I would probably try it. Lundman says, I'd be interested in seeing you play muskets and tomahawks. You probably have the minis. Yeah, I think we do. I'm pretty sure we do, because I think that's kind of the same size game as Sharp Practice. So yeah, it's just another rule set we could try. I think that Johnny played that. So Johnny's, I know you guys have probably seen him on this channel before, but he's been really good at getting me to play and try different games. So he's the one to play Black Powder. He's the one that we played Grimdark Future and Flames of War and various different games that we played on the channel because of him, which is good because it gets us out of the same old thing that we've been playing all the time. But another game that he has that I want to try is the Marvel game, Marvel Crisis Protocol. He's got that whole game like painted up and everything. So there might be a day where you see a Marvel Crisis Protocol game even on this channel just for fun, something different. Closest to bolt action I've gotten is Star Wars Legion. Are they close? I didn't know that. Mermy said, have you seen the new Vlad's Army expansion for 7 TV? It's weird. World War II with vampires reminds me of your 17. No, I have not seen that. Yeah, we did do it was 7 TV Apocalypse that we made into kind of that weird World War II thing. It was fun. We just used the models that we had and were able to do it. But luckily I had a bunch of what's that game? Conflict 47 stuff that made it weird. Marvel would be interesting to see. Yeah. I don't know if you guys tried Marvel. I think it looks kind of fun. I know I mean, I'm not a big fan of comic book movies or anything, but as a kid, I liked comic books. And I would love to be the Hulk in a game. Just pick something up and throw it at somebody. Andrew said, I usually play Flames of War, Team Yankee, and Black Sails. Okay. So a bunch of 15 mil stuff and some sailing. Nice. So what I use for glass is Oothling gray, then blend in some blues, blacks up to white, and glaze a true blue over, and then gloss coat. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit too complex for me. I'm just trying to get these guys done. I'm thinking of gray and white build up. I'm sure that would look cool, but yeah, I'm trying. This is a speed paint army. I'm not really spending a lot of time on this one. Steve says, Travis, any thoughts ever trying Black Sight's Lunar Cold War skirmish game on the moon? Yeah, I've seen that. That looks pretty cool. I used to get stuff from those guys, buildings and stuff. I haven't talked to them for a while, but yeah, it'd be kind of fun because I know that Steve likes the hard sci-fi stuff, and I think that's what that is. It's really guys in moon suits, like hopping, when you're on the moon and you're jumping, you jump like 4 or 5 feet off the ground. And then they just use like whatever weapons, hammers, rocks. They don't have lasers or anything. It's just, it does look like an interesting game. Yeah, Marvel, I choose Eagle Shams. I choose Batman, Wolverine, and The Witcher. I don't think Batman's in Marvel. I don't know. What the hell do I know? Andrew says, I'm definitely going to buy the Island Assault starter box for Bolt Action. Yes. Pacific stuff is fun. The Japanese are a fun army to play in Bolt Action. And the Marines are really good. They got some really good, you can build some really good platoons with the Marines in Bolt Action. Raider, you can have stubborn guys. You can have 3 BARs in the squad. You can have pistols, shotguns. For Americans, you can really kit them out a lot. Let's see. Kyle says, A Billion Suns is a pretty good sci-fi game. Haven't heard of that one. Billion Suns. Is that a miniatures game or a board game? I don't know. Ha, you finally admitted it, Trav. What did I admit, Steve? That I like, I don't know. What the hell did I admit? It's probably something we were talking about a long time ago. The Marines. Yeah, in the game. I'll never admit the Marines are better than the Army in real life. In the game, yes. They're a lot more fun. The Army squads in Bolt Action are pretty boring. BAR, tank grenades. That's it. But the Marines, you can bring shotguns, all kinds of cool stuff. Space Fleet. So Kyle says that A Billion Suns is a miniature space fleet combat game. No, I've never heard of that one. I don't really play a lot of different games. I should. I don't know. Like I said, my brain is so full of rules at this point. The idea of trying to cram a few more in there is a little tough. Billion Suns is a miniature agnostic Osprey Blue Book game. Okay. I don't know what that means. I know what miniature agnostic means. I don't know what Osprey Blue Book game is. Oh yeah. So anyway, all right. So we've been at this for an hour now. I don't know. You guys like this? Like I said earlier, I would like to do it again, but maybe have a guest on or two that I can talk to, maybe about a certain topic, and then also interact with people in the chat as well. That would be. I like doing that. It was fun. We just never really got around to doing it again. We did it during our when I was doing the Stonewall Brigade project. I had Wallace and Padilla on for that, so that was fun. I mean, really, ultimately, I would like to do like on a Sunday morning, like a weekly or bi-weekly type of show like this, where we have a guest on, or maybe even just a regular cast of characters that come on and just talk about gaming, pick a topic and talk about it, and like really break down like Let's talk about movement and chain of command or whatnot. So I think that'd be kind of fun. So, but for this week, this is what I chose to do just because we didn't have a game. So, I will be doing the unboxing of the 0200 hours. I did a little bit of it at the beginning of this live stream. So if you want to see that, you can go back in time and check that out. But I will be doing it again on a real video for it this weekend. Just it'll be a little bit more in depth than I did. Not really a whole lot to do in an unboxing. There's already a bunch out there. I might have been the last person to receive the review copy, but I'll still do one because I know that the reason I send out all these review copies is because different people watch different channels. So, I mean, if everyone watched the same channel, then they could just send out one review copy. But not everyone watches all the same stuff. People that watch this channel maybe never heard of another channel and vice versa. So they send out multiple review copies. So I'll do an unboxing for the people that watch this channel for sure. And then we'll paint them up and we'll play a game and do some battle reports on it. So that should be fun. Something totally different. So let me just look through the comments here. I have to say your voice sounds much older, but you look like 37. You don't have to commend. I'm not 37. I'm 47. Believe it or not. And I was getting my hair cut the other day. The lady said, "You don't have any gray hair." I said, "No, I do. My gray is all in my beard, so it will be in my hair eventually." But whatever. That's life. You should do celebrity boxing match against Mel, the terrain tutor. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where would we do it? Have to fly all the way out there? Paint and chat. Yeah, muskets and tomahawks is great. With free rules for, yes, Silvo, or let me read that. I'm sorry. Slivo. I'll just call you Slivo. Yeah, you can get these free, as I mentioned that earlier. If you want to get there's a free PDF of this on the Gray for Now Games website that you can download, and you can start playing it right now if you wanted to. But then you wouldn't have all the fancy Sentry-looking minis and the sneaking SAS guys to play with either. So anyway, I'm about out of stuff to talk about. This is just kind of a off-the-cuff thing anyway. Next time we do this, we'll put a little bit more thought into it and planning and have guests on and have a topic that we'll talk about. Yeah, me and Eagle Sham are the same age. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I think me and Steve are the same age too. Andrew says, "You guys playing next week?" Yes, we're playing bolt action Italians versus Australians for the first time next week. And we might, I don't know. Andre and I might play a game maybe tomorrow. I don't know for sure, but we're definitely playing patron versus patron game Sunday morning, bolt action, McInnes versus Reed. And I will be putting up a summary video for that. It'll probably take me a few days to do it though, because believe it or not, trying to summarize a 3-hour game and is harder to edit than the full 3-hour game, or not a 3-hour game, but a 3-hour game into an hour it's quicker to do that than to try to condense a 3-hour game and do a 15-minute video. Okay, yeah, so I guess we'll wrap it up here. So hopefully you guys will come to the next one. Oh, hey, Jessica showed up right at the last minute. We're about to sign off, but yeah, this was actually her idea. So she knew that Andre, or I told her that Andre wasn't around. So yeah, she has a lot of good ideas for the channel and for the Patreon as well. So I appreciate her giving me a lot of good advice on doing stuff. It's helped a lot. And yeah, see you, Steve. She was out riding her horses. That's cool. Yeah, Normally our live streams go a lot longer than this, but when it's just me talking nonstop for over an hour, it gets a little tiring. So, yeah, thanks, Colin, for Colin says it's fun to listen to you while building my AK-47 Republic forces. AK-47 Republic. Haven't heard of that. Of course, there's more stuff I haven't heard of than I have heard of, that's for sure. Slivo, so what state are you from? And what conventions and tournaments? I'm from California, and we don't really have. There's a few conventions and tournaments. I think there was one just this weekend in the Bay Area. I try to avoid going in the Bay Area unless I absolutely have to. But other than that, we don't really. California is kind of a gaming desert. I mean, compared to back east, where there's tournaments and conventions all the time and big historical stuff, and California is not a great gaming place. I mean, part of it's just the distances between stuff is so great. I mean, like, you might find someone that plays your game that lives in Fresno, and I mean, Fresno is like 2.5 hours from here. So I don't know. Just never been great. It was okay when we had the stores like Ogre's Den, when everyone can get together there. But stores are kind of the thing. Going to the game store is kind of like going to the club in the UK. We go to the store, and that's where we play, and that's where we meet people. But our favorite store just closed recently, so that kind of put a damper on that. Jessica said, when are you going to paint the roads? When I make another one. We lost the road we made in the video somehow. I really don't understand how that happened. We did the first part, and suddenly there's no road. I don't know. I don't know where the hell it went. So we need to make another one to paint. And maybe if we don't play a game this weekend, I'll have Andre come over and we'll just make some roads so I can finish off that little series. So Andrew said good night. Good night, Andrew. Old school. He just got here. Yeah, you can listen to the back playback of it if you like to hear me ramble for an hour. That'd be awesome. We'd appreciate the view. Slivo says, and then thank you very much. And I do follow you on Instagram. I was visiting my friend in LA, and it's hard for historical gaming. Yeah, LA is hard. Just trying to get anywhere in LA is damn hard. And then if you meet a guy who plays the game that you play, he might live on the other side of town, and then it'd take 2 hours to get there. Yeah, and a lot of the gaming in California is 40K stuff. There's a lot of gamers in Sacramento area where I live, but almost all of them play 40K. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now as my voice is starting to wear out from talking. I don't know if I've talked this much nonstop I don't remember the last time. So I'll definitely have to build up my voice endurance if I'm going to do this again. But yeah, thanks to everyone for coming out, and Jessica especially for suggesting it. And something I definitely want to make more of a regular thing that we do is this type of stuff. But I'm thinking maybe Sunday mornings would be better, so we get the UK crowd in on it too. So anyway, thanks to everyone who came. There's quite a few people, more than we get for our normal live streams for sure. So I can't really name everyone, but I know all the patrons that were here. Thank you, and all the guys who are new here and just stop by to say hi. Thank you as well. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So we'll see you guys next time.